Hi, my name is Dr. Orestes Gutierrez, and today's presentation will be on the three phases of the mind, how to align with the infinite potential, which I think is essential for creating ease in the body and health and wellness. First, I'd like to start with a story of what it looks like to tap into that infinite potential. And Michael Jordan, in this iconic photograph, was in what's known as the zone. He was unstoppable. He was hitting three-pointer after three-pointer. And then he looked at Magic Johnson, who was an announcer, and had the famous iconic shrug, like, it wasn't me. It was a power greater than him. He was tapping into that infinite potential, that super conscious mind that we're going to talk about in this presentation. The opposite of tapping into that your infinite potential and getting in the zone is when you're limited by your ego. And if you see Lolo Jones, she had an epic collapse in the 2008 Olympics. And she's here watching the replay. She tripped over the second to last hurdle, and she went from first place, about to win the gold medal, to last place. And you can see this is the ego who, when she said it in a post-race interview, her own mind got in the way. And she said, oh my God, I'm going to win. And it was ego-centered. And then her mind tripped her up. And this is when we're not in line with that infinite potential, that super conscious mind. We are not in the zone. And then she's left wondering, why me, the ego-centered mind? We're going to discuss today the three phases of the mind and really how we can get into that MJ zone on our day-to-day life and avoid the epic collapse that we saw from Lolo Jones. And we're left wondering, why me? And that victim consciousness. We want to have the vessel consciousness and say, it wasn't me. That iconic shrug from Michael Jordan, that's what we're looking for. So the superconscious mind is also known as the unified field, the non-local domain of existence, the quantum field. And we have actually examples of this non-local intelligence in nature and in our own body. In nature, for instance, if you see a flock of birds migrating, they never crash into each other. They move in harmony and synchrony in a non-local communication. Same thing with the school of fish. They never bump into each other. Scientists are trying to harness this non-local intelligence to maybe one day there won't be any traffic accidents. But in our bodies, we also have this unified field, this quantum domain, where our brains, different networks of our brains communicating in an instantaneous non-local communication. With our heart electromagnetic field, we have that as well. We have up to 1 million reactions happening per second in one of our cells, and we have 37 trillion cells. So our body is communicating through this non-local domain, this infinite creativity and intelligence, which is known as the superconscious mind. Our subconscious mind has the autonomic nervous system. It has our memories, collective memories, habits, and images. And the subconscious communicates more in images, not in words. And lastly, our conscious mind is our thoughts, emotions, ideas, sensations, opinions that come and go. Now let's dive a little deeper into each phase of the mind. The superconscious mind, also known as divine mind and unity. It's interesting that physicists were asked to describe the unified field of existence, the non-local domain, and they came up with, I'm not going to go into all 25, but here's a list of a few of the attributes that they named the unified field: infinite potential, infinite orderliness, infinite correlation and creativity, pure knowledge, infinite possibility, freedom, and bliss. Now, these attributes, according to religious scholars, we can also assign to God, Brahman, Allah, divine spirit, whatever your name for God is. This is the same attributes that we see in nature and in our body is also part of the cosmic mind, divine mind. What's fascinating to me is that in the ancient scriptures, in the Vedas, Satchidananda, the Sanskrit term that actually summarizes the superconscious mind and the unified field. Satchidananda is existence, knowledge, bliss, absolute. And also, the Bible and the Vedas, they are naming that thing. And what is that thing that they're naming? It's the superconscious mind. It's divine mind. In Exodus 3:14, I am that I am. In Psalms, be still and know that I am that. And Tatvamasi, thou art that. And Soham, I am that. Now I'm going to ask you, what is that? That's superconscious, divine mind, the unified field, the non-local domain, omnipotent, omniscient, and wholly good. That's what we're talking about. It's all around us and it's within us as well. And one thing that's important to note is that we can describe it with so many words. But what we have to really understand is that words cannot fully describe the superconscious domain of existence because we have to feel it in our bodies. We have to feel it, and it's Philippians 4:7. It gives us that peace that transcends, that passes all understanding. We're not going to be able to understand it with our logical, thinking, conscious brain. We're going to have to embody it and feel it. Now, let's discuss the subconscious and conscious phase of the mind. The subconscious phase of the mind houses memory. Now, it's memory that we make this lifetime, but also collective memory from generational trauma, from habits. This is like the collective consciousness. And this is really enculturation. I mean, these are habits that were formulated as we're growing up and are in the software of our brain. And we don't even know. We're on autopilot. We're doing things and believing things that we don't even know are there, and they're just learned behavior, basically. And that's the beautiful thing about unity. We can reprogram our subconscious with affirmations. Now, our conscious mind is the realm of thoughts, emotions, ideas, sensations, opinions that come and go. These are fleeting, and it's the tip of the iceberg, if you will, of everything that's housed in our body. And there's the wave and the ocean metaphor. The conscious mind is like a wave, and then there's the sea. There's the ocean of consciousness that encompasses all the superconsciousness, subconscious, and conscious mind. So the conscious mind receives input from the unified field, from the superconscious. It receives information through the practice of silence, prayer, meditation, and that's part of the practice of our daily affirmations and denials that we can do to really harness that infinite potential that lies within you and everyone. And to close my presentation, I'm going to leave you with the 5-step process that Unity shares, and I'm currently taking courses from Unity Worldwide Ministry and Reverend Pam, Reverend Juan, and Reverend Dr. Noel. I'm learning this 5-step process and how to integrate this in my daily life to try to tap into that infinite potential, that non-local domain that lives within each and every one of us. This is how we align with the divine and become a better version of ourselves through this daily practice. And I hope to share a future presentation on how we can integrate this into our daily life to become a better version of ourselves and be good and do good in the world. Thank you.